The following show features episodic breakdowns of Jackass, either performed by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. For your safety, avoid listening to this podcast at all times. Hi, I'm Mikey Aaronworth.
I'm Jason Wellwood.
And I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Welcome to Jackass.
Welcome to Jackass. It's the podcast where we're on a path of destruction through every single episode of Jackass.
We are three lifelong fans of the show, reliving the belly laughs, bad ideas, and broken bones.
We're coming right back at you with a wiggity WildBoyz.
Chris, I get giddy.
Wow.
When you're about to do your intros because it feels like you are. It's like you're on a high wire balancing act and you're just falling all over the place. And you always get where you need to go.
Yeah.
But it always looks like you're about to fall on your face.
It's all about showmanship. Do you think they'll really almost fall off the high wire? They do that on purpose, right? They're just masters at entertaining.
I'm sure some of them do. Some of them
never.
do.
Never.
Oh, okay.
I just want to unlock the secret bail compilation of Chris nutting himself on the wire.
It would happen for me.
Videos of Chris nutting himself are all over the internet, actually.
Do you ever get scared that it's a matter of time before viruses happen where your camera turns on when you're watching porn and there's actually tons of videos out there of you jerking off on the internet?
Gotta be happening.
It's happening to most of us, I think. I unplug my webcam after every recording for exactly that reason.
No, fuck that.
Do you go to your office to jerk it?
This is where my computer is. This is where the magic happens. In several,
you don't take your laptop over to your bed, get nice, comfy, light a candle, put on your nice, sexy underwear.
No, I usually take off my ugly underwear. Instead of lighting a candle, I turn off all the lights, and then I just feel shame for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
You know what you got to do is get one of those long sticks like SteveO in this episode, and then you can jack it at his distance, so you're far enough away that you're not, in high fidelity zone. So,
wait, far enough away from yourself?
Nah, from the camera.
Oh, from the camera.
So your bits come out a little pixelated.
That's the last thing I want is my dick being further away from the camera, thus looking even smaller. I'm sitting right under the close up there.
It's all relative, really.
Yeah, touche.
Chris, what are we doing today?
What do you got for us?
We are doing WildBoyz Season 2, Episode 4, which came out on May 16th, year 2004.
Ooh. May 16th. That's a good song. You guys know that one?
No.
Lagwagon, May 16th.
Lagwagon? What?
It's a hit. Go play Tony Hawk 2, you fucking noob.
Oh, I probably know it if it's from Tony Hawk 2.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. That shit's the best.
That might be a good song, but this was a day of mourning.
Oh.
Day of mourning at the Vilklunia Forest, just outside of Kiev, Ukraine, where during the 1930s and early 1940s, communist Bolsheviks executed over 100,000 Ukrainian civilians.
Of course they did.
100,000?
Yeah.
In one day?
That's what I want to know.
That's another good question.
No, not in one day. It says during the 30s and early 40s, but this was the day of mourning for it.
The day of mourning. I thought you meant they killed 100,000 people in one day. And yes, that is tragic, but also weirdly impressive if they could pull that off. That feels like it would be a difficult task. That's up there with Santa delivering presents all in one evening.
If Santa could do it, the communists could surely do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if everybody's working together,
Hey guys, look what came in the mail for me today.
Oh, what came in the mail?
SteveO's new book.
Oh, Chris got SteveO's new book, A Hard Kick in the Nuts.
Hey.
Came with a little autograph with his penis signature.
Oh, that's amazing. So you got one of the pre-orders that he was that upset some people?
Yeah, apparently, but it made me happy he's getting the signature, so they can frig off.
Chris and I had a conversation last week. Jay couldn't join us. He was a little under the weather, but Chris and I had a conversation about SteveO and his recent episode of Wild Ride, where he basically apologized for, whatever he felt he needed to apologize for. The caption was he's ashamed of himself and this and that. And he just actually, as of today, we're recording the Thursday prior to the release of this episode. So the Thursday you're listening to it, he had an episode with Bam Margera. And I think SteveO's been getting a lot of flack. We kind of talked about this last week. I went back and I listened to the Jackass episode, to the apology episode, and then just today I listened to the Bam Margera episode. Jay, do you listen to Wild Ride much? Do you bother with that at all?
I don't get in there often enough, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I honestly don't listen to
recent happenings.
Yeah, I don't listen to every episode either. I wanted to check in, just especially because, you know, we had all the conversations Chris and I did about what was happening. I think everything I said in the last episode, just based on the impressions of what I had heard, I still kind of I'm on board with that, so I don't need to relitigate any of that. I don't think he did anything to really bully Jackass. That's such a strange take for people to say, because that's kind of what they were coming out. Chris, have you listened to both of them before we talked last time, right? And you were kind of in agreement with that?
Yeah, I mean, I could see the Jackass thing being a little harsh at certain times. They were definitely, like, even like Scott Randall was coming in being like, oh, all we did was ask you to put play, which it's a very simple thing or stuff like that. It just seemed like redundantly over the top a little bit, like, get the point across. You don't need to keep beating a dead horse type thing, but fuck, we're fucking men. Like, deal with it. You know, like, you take some criticism. Like, all they were doing is trying to help the fucking guy. So it's like, I don't get what the hate was.
It felt like a joke. I agree with that. I was actually surprised that because I remember when we were talking last week, you said something like, oh yeah, even some things I was like, oh, I can't believe he's just sitting there and taking it. I honestly didn't have a moment of that. I understand, you know, whatever. Maybe I was listening for it, so it wasn't as impressive, but I would recommend both to you, Chris, and to Jay to listen to the Bam Margera episode as well. Bam, every time he goes on Wild Ride, you know, kicks up a bit of controversy. Apparently his conservatorship is done. We don't need to talk about it too much if you guys haven't listened to it or seen it yet, but it's kind of the same old stuff with Bam. You know, him talking about how he's you know, a new path now because he almost died because of he had COVID and he had a bunch of seizures and stuff. And a lot of people are he was like in the ICU. He was not declared dead, I don't think, but I think his heart almost stopped or something, and he had 5 seizures, each of which lasted like 5 minutes, which is a big deal. But he's back and he's living with a shaman somewhere. So it's kind of the same old song and dance. And I hate to say it, you know, we've heard this before, but everyone who is attempting recovery, it's always failure and it's always lies and deception until the one time that it isn't. So I always hold out a little bit of room in hopes that he's turning a corner here. I thought SteveO handled it pretty well. It's definitely, I think you should go listen to it if you're interested in that continuing saga.
We'll check it out.
Just to put a button on our conversations from last week.
Yeah, totally.
So any more mass genocide, or should we move on?
We should move on. It's hard for me to get these facts because it keeps being the exact same facts as the we're on par with Viva La Bam. So it's hard for me to find, especially back then. This is almost like pre-internet, so there wasn't as much archival situation.
Well, but things were still happening.
I know, but it's harder to find them. That's my point.
Okay. Isn't there, like,
you fucking try to take over my job. You'll fucking just do stupid ass fucking things all the time. Oh,
right,
I'm Mikey. Someone groomed their mustache really nice in 1923.
Honestly, if
I
they
would
did,
love
I
to
could
hear
learn
that
some
for a
things.
change, honestly.
Yeah, it's better
I
than
would
mass
take that.
genocide before we talk about guys getting kicked in the nuts by a Komodo dragon.
You set
Like,
the bar down low
somebody-
and then you bring them back up. It's all entertainment, as I said. Everything I do is thought out. I'm a fucking mastermind for the people.
Next week, I expect someone inventing a new ice cream flavor or some shit. Please.
Okay.
Something fluffy. Fluff me up. I need it. WildBoyz Season 2, Episode 4. We're back, baby. Back in full force. New Year 2023. I didn't get to say Happy New Year last time, so fuck it. Happy New Year, everybody. We're in Costa Rica this time, and we get a little tandem dive off a rock into a nice little pond here to start us off. Boys are looking good. It's good to see their faces on screen once again. I missed them. And we're going to start this one off with, everybody's favorite, especially 1/3 of this podcast favorite specifically. It's the snake expert and snake idiot, as SteveO has coined these two, here to play with snakes with the boys. And this looks like a nice, like, green clearing. You could have like a little children's park here, some swings. You know, it looks like a nice little area to go and play with snakes. I don't know.
It's crazy to think that you just, like, in this, because this doesn't look like it's remote. This looks like it's just a random area. The camera can pan and there can be a McDonald's 20 yards from this place, and yet there's a Fer-De-Lance, which is
those fuckers are brutal, man. They hang out in those stupid spots. Like, they're all over the place. If I'm not mistaken, 100%, they'll be anywhere. And they, like, camouflage so well, and they strike. They're like, they sit in pathways and shit, and, like, I'm pretty sure they're responsible for more deaths than any other snake, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're toxin. Like, you need to get sorted out right away. I think it has that, like, completely disabling venom and stuff like that. But yeah, they're nasty little bastards.
That explains the energy on set. with this because like SteveO is kind of like losing his mind. He's screaming and running away just on sight. I think though, before any of this gets started, someone's got to tell Alejandro Solorzano, I think his name is Alejandro, what to do with his hands. He's pulling like a Ricky Bobby in the intro. He's just kind of standing there, like his hands are sort of floating all over the place.
He's getting ready to grab snakes that are jumping out of trees at motherfuckers,
Well, who is this guy, by the way? He shows up on set in fucking flip-flops as a snake expert rooting around bushes. Like, that's
confident.
Not proper.
He's confident. That's what it is. He's like, I didn't wear what I want.
Fair.
Fuck these snakes.
But he's more arrogant than confident because even like later in the sketch, he fucks up and lets the snake out of the bag and it almost kills. Like I started.
It was running at the cameraman. It was coming to kill.
Yeah. It had Mark Rackley in his sights, and Mark Rackley is just in every animal's sights. Every animal wants Mark Rackley dead. Mark Rackley is like a paparazzi hanging outside of like Kanye West. Yes, exactly. 100%. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. But this started out where I was like, okay, David Weathers, fuck this guy. Like he has no idea what he's doing. And he saves the day, like literally saves the day by the end of it. My esteem went from being like this Alejandro guy's got to be badass to being like David Weathers just dummied this Alejandro dude.
Dude, you know how evil these devil spaghetti are, these types of snakes? If you like kill one, like let's say I was watching like TV shows where they're like they're like naked and afraid, and they see a Fer-De-Lance. Like if you kill it, you have to chop its head off right away, and then you have to bury its head because they will still bite you and be able to inject venom for like I think like 10, 20 minutes after their head's chopped off.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, that's the problem. Chris is right. Fuck animals that have a gimmick. If your animal has a gimmick, it's just shitty. It's like a spider that can skim across the top of water or an emu that reads too much George R.R. Martin, This snake has a fucking gimmick. It's going to lunge at you. You get too close, and they're fucking springy motherfuckers. Like, they're unpredictable. I wouldn't want to be anywhere in the vicinity of these things, man.
But these ones have like multiple gimmicks. The crazy the crazy poison, the ability to super camouflage. They can spring the length of their whole body. They're like land octopus. How they just have way too many benefits to them. Yeah, super skills exactly. This one just obviously ends up becoming like David Weathers just like gets his hands in there, picks up the tail of this snake and starts dancing with it basically for like he's ready to shine. I don't know what scientific purpose what he's doing has, but he's just like a wrangler.
You know what had a very big scientific purpose? Fer-De-Lance dance.
Oh,
that calmed him down. That's like the South American version of like the snake charmers with like the little horns. You do that Fer-De-Lance dance. And they just see those wieners bouncing, and they're just like, "Oh, this is dumb."
Yeah, I think
it's more Fer-De-Lances around.
SteveO and Pontius doing the Fer-De-Lance dance. It's funny because SteveO's like making a joke out of it, and I think Pontius is trying to make a joke out of it as well. But he can't help but look sexy when he does it. It's just like the curse of Pontius.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I need. Well, we end this segment with we get to see the venom coming out of the fangs when they finally do get a hold on this thing after almost letting it out and murdering someone.
Yeah.
They get a good squeeze on it, and you can see the venom just dripping out of the fangs, man. I like that. It looks like if it touches your skin, it would just burn a hole through you,
What do you guys think it would taste like? Because I would be surprised if it's not sour. It has to be like
it would
very
taste like
sour.
Warheads.
It would taste exactly like 100% Warheads. Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
And
I'm glad we agree.
We just immediately we all knew it was Warheads. What color Warhead though?
Green.
Sour apple. Yeah.
I was thinking purple because the purple's like the most intense sour one.
What flavor is purple?
I don't know. Or the black one, like the black cherry one. It was like the most notorious, hottest one.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
The hottest.
They still make those? I got to get a bag of those.
Oh man,
they nerfed them down because this new pussy generation can't handle even sour.
I don't think they could handle it, to be honest. We the one last thing I want to say about this, David Weathers, like he had the most improved player from this segment for sure. Because even though like him doing what he did though, he doesn't like when they call him a snake expert. He to me is like a snake expert, not in like a scientific way, but in the same way that like Tiger King is a tiger expert. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that he really knows what he's doing, but he just is comfortable around dangerous animals because he's from Florida. I don't know how else to put it.
But who would you rather have, some friggin' nerd scientist in a lab coat or a guy like that?
Yeah, David Weathers, you can travel with me to Costa Rica if we're ever going for sure.
Yeah.
So for this next one, how about a Fruit Loops commercial where the kids are chasing after Toucan Sam trying to get those Fruit Loops. We almost got him, and he just fucking lunges in and bites one of those snot-nosed punks right in the nose, I think that's what we need. That's what happens to Pontius here.
I think, follow your nose. That Toucan's following his nose right to Pontius's nose.
Oh, yeah.
This will
like they had some of that the Costa Rican pre-workout before they fucking went in there. Fucking Toucan's like, yo, I got a big-ass nose for a reason, bro. Give me some of that shit.
This is one of the first appearances of Pontius's Smart Boy glasses, which he wears a couple times in this episode. I think they look great on him. I don't know if he expected this Toucan to bite his nose. He looked just as surprised as everyone else did, but that looked fucking gnarly.
Yeah. I love that he does say, an animal so gorgeous, I can't bear the sight of it, which, again, that's why he's wearing the glasses,
yes.
Right? It's a whole gimmick.
But he's okay. It's okay if he has a gimmick. Just don't let snakes have gimmicks.
Yeah, no, fuck that. The sloth boys. I don't know if you knew this, but it's the slowest moving animal in the world, and we've got our good friend Judy here, the founder of the Arreriarus Sanctuary.
Ave Arroyo.
Whatever, man. Listen, the sloths. This one, adorable as fuck. I mean, I don't even give a shit that he's a vegetarian. I'm on this guy's team all the way.
So
cute motherfucker.
So interesting. I got curious, as I do sometimes. They're filming this at the sloth sanctuary in Costa Rica, and actually, it's the Ave Arroyo Sloth Sanctuary. And I looked this place up. It's still in operation. Judy is still the owner of this place.
Nice.
Google. It has a 4.4 star rating on Google. Cool. 833 reviews. I figured this might be a nice time to go through and read a couple of these reviews for you guys. Some of the good and some of the bad. You okay with this?
I'm ready. I'm all about this.
Okay, good.
All I want to know is who's laundering that wizard sleeve, because it's been a number of years. I mean, Judy's got to be getting up there, right?
Who's
somebody taking care of Judy?
Yeah.
Is somebody taking care of her? I hope so. Hope it's not just her and a bunch of fucking animals all lonely.
That is like
she goes for the four-toed sloth instead of the two.
Okay. First 5-star review. Randy. Okay, this is from Randy.
Sorry, I just pictured the Randy from South Park.
South Park, yeah.
Actually,
me too.
If you picture a couple that would go to a sloth sanctuary and spend $28 to go see the sloths in cages, you're picturing it right. That is this person's profile picture, and yes, they're exactly as sunburned as you're imagining that they would be. This review, 5 stars. Nacho was our guide, very informative and personable. Would recommend this trip to anyone. We took the insider tour, which allowed us to see several babies. Apparently they let her look inside her pussy to see the babies. Am I right? High fives? Mm-hmm. High fives all around? High fives. Okay, so that's a 5-star review. Pretty normal, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to a 1-star review.
Uh-oh.
This one's from Carrie.
I know what Carrie looks like.
Yeah, you're also right. You're also exactly right about this. It's basically Karen, but like the Pokemon less evolved version. It's like shaved head into before the hair grows out into the Karen haircut.
Yeah, exactly. Potentially blue.
Do not go here. Please do your research beforehand. There's a lot of abuse behind the scenes that you don't see. Read all of the 1-star reviews and you will see what I'm talking about. Please don't give them your money. That I was like, okay, maybe that's just one bad 1-star review, but it turns out there's actually a shit ton more of those. Anna says, seems like this place is not what it claims to be. I recently read a damning report by some vets that worked there, and they claim people running it hoard the sloths. They do not rehabilitate them, nor do they take very good care of them. This needs to be investigated further. Meanwhile, do not give them your money. So it's
funny that the exact same phrase is around. Like maybe PETA arranged these people with generic names like Anna and Carrie to all sit there and write the same type of 1-star reviews with the same type of information.
Yes, it seems like that's right. What it is, because otherwise,
come to think of it, I don't know anyone named Anna or Carrie.
That's always a fake name. Always a fake name.
Yeah.
This last review though. Okay, I'll be quick with this.
Okay.
But this
is
one,
a 1-star.
This is a 1-star review.
Okay.
And this one blew my mind. I was like, my mouth was aghast when I read it. Okay. Alexander says, it's difficult to even recount the horrific experience we had at this sanctuary, in quotation marks. While we were waiting awaiting our tour, we witnessed 3 dogs, presumably the owners, attack and maul a sloth. I do not know if the animal survived. We were so traumatized after witnessing this incident that we left the facility shortly thereafter. It is troubling that safeguards are not in place to ensure that the sloths receiving care are not injured or killed while in activity. Pretty crazy. Imagine going there and you just see one of the owner's dogs go after a sloth. Pretty wild.
Yeah,
there's actually
fucking imagine in the wild where there's fucking leopards and tigers and shit like that and crocodiles. There's a reason why sloths hang on trees.
Yeah, true. Actually, but it turns out Judy actually replied to this review. I'm not making this up. This actually happened. Judy replied to the review, and apparently there was a male bradipus, which was not a part of the sanctuary, that landed on the grass in the owner's backyard. It clasped onto the back of their husky's leg, and sloths have a notoriously really hard grip, so the husky just like bit it, and the sloth ended up surviving regardless, probably got rehabilitated in the sloth sanctuary. But she actually took like a whole, it's like literally like 3 paragraphs worth of an explanation. But I went on this fucking rabbit hole on the sloth sanctuary and read all these reviews, and it was amazing. And the reason I wanted to say that last one is a bradipus is the really cute fucking sloth that they show. Yeah, the little guy. That's the bradipus. Like the one with the ugly haircut that Chris Pontius says he finds really cute. Yeah, so
I love
that little
sloths.
piece of shit mauled a dog.
Now I don't know whose side I'm on anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm just as confused.
I'm very
the thing is with the 1-star. Yeah, the 1-star and the 5-star review thing. You know, there's always at least 1 or 2 5-stars in there that, you know, Dick touched someone's lips at some point. Now that review exists, like you know, that's not. It's not there. What I'm saying is someone did someone a favor to get the 5 stars.
Yeah. Usually,
I just didn't phrase it very well.
Yes,
but there was a BJ in between that review and you know, the
reason why it's up there, and they actually wrote about it in the review itself.
Just go look at any like fucking Amazon review for something with 5 stars and like just look at the terminology. If it sounds like it's coming out of the mouth of a marketer, it probably sucked a dick.
I can see that.
Yeah. I'm siding with the people and the dog maulings and the abuse. I'm siding with them.
Yeah. You don't trust Judy? You don't think she runs a tight ship over there? I don't trust Judy.
She's too nice, and she didn't say anything in this episode. She was just lips silent, like she's been trained not to. Don't say anything, Judy. You're on camera. Keep your fucking mouth shut. So we're gonna go and hang with the sloths now. The 2-toed sloth. We're gonna hang with them literally in the fucking tree. They like the beach almond tree, and boys, they only come down to poop. Now, at this point, I'm going to leave the floor open in case anyone would like to make a joke, because I feel like this is open mic night at this point, and yes, there's a big portrait of me hanging on the stage, so please feel free.
Well, I think so. You would be similar, I think, to these sloths, except that you don't leave the bathroom, except for the rare moment when you're not shitting. You just kind of spend most of your time shitting. And then you go up in a tree when you're not. Or watching people shit. Yeah.
See, I was going to go, the sloths like the beach almond tree, and they only come down to poop, kind of like me when I'm sitting on your face. Huh?
Only come down to poop?
Yeah.
Huh. Whose face? Mine or Chris's? Or both? Is this a double deal? Because if you do, I'll leave you a 5-star Google review. I promise you that.
We'll stack you up head to head. How about that? 5-star Google review, yeah. Yeah, I gotta tell you, got to do something dirty. That's the only way you're getting your 5 stars.
Yeah, Chris owns a restaurant. He
I got
knows
a ton
all
of
about
5-star reviews.
Listen, if Jesus could write an Amazon review, you know it'd be a 5-star review. You know what else Jesus could do, guys? Jesus could walk on water. And so can this lizard that we found, and surely he will as well. When they let this thing run loose, run lizard run like the Lord, as SteveO says, just watching that motherfucker run across the water is priceless. And I gotta say, folks, give up TikTok, give up your YouTubes, even give up this podcast. This is the only entertainment you need from now on to have a good time.
It's true. This is one where, yeah, it's funny because immediately when it ended, it's just SteveO and Pontius. They've got like a crown of thorns on their head, like Jesus did on the cross, and they're there, like, you know, waxing biblical about this green basilisk before they let it go in the pool. And at first I was like, okay, there's nothing to this one. I want there to be a little bit more. But the more I think back to it, it was just the two of them having so much fun. Like, I feel like they'd be doing this whether the cameras were there or not. And that makes it very endearing. They're just letting the green basilisk go. It's running away. It's running back to them. It won't leave SteveO alone.
Why do all animals fuck with SteveO and then leave Pontius alone? This was like the other week. It's like, he's just got that vibe. They're just too sexually intimidated by him, I think. Pure alpha.
I think, yeah, maybe a little bit alpha. I also think it's kind of like what you said, Chris, last week about the rhinos. Like, sometimes you just vibe with a specific animal, and I think Pontius's vibes are just on that level, and animals pick up on it.
Yeah, 100%.
So I got to ask, is there any examples in the Bible of Jesus acting lizardly? Because SteveO or Pontius says he doesn't look like Jesus, but he acts just like him.
Well, he does.
There's got to be something.
Yeah, he spends a lot of time just hanging out in the sun, Jesus.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's probably got the same tan as Randy. Actually,
it's funny you asked that, Jay, because go down the rabbit hole about the serpentine underworld of like that are controlling the earth, and then Jesus was part of this thing, this like devil. What? Yeah, there's actually something to do with like this whole Bible and everything being a serpent, and this whole sub race that's merged with humans, and they control the world.
Are they saying they're Jews? Is that like, that feels like we're on the basis of like the beginning of an anti-Semitic thing.
I don't know. I haven't got that far. I'm sure it eventually goes down there. That's where all paths seem to lead these days.
And to be clear, I am not saying that. I am part Jewish. I start to see these theories. Every time I hear conspiracy theory, I'm like, at the bottom of it are either pedophiles or Jews or Jew pedophiles. Like, those are the three.
I've never heard Jew pedophiles. Except Epstein, I guess. Well, I mean, that's a pretty big one.
Some might say the biggest.
Look,
some might say at one point he might have been the biggest pedophile in the game.
Guys, look, I was just trying to ask a fun lizard question. Like, I think we're reading too much into this. I was expecting, like,
be careful what you ask for, Jay. I'm the conspiracy master.
He had a long tongue. Yeah,
I'm here for the people.
I don't know what I expected. I would have. He had sticky feet. Would have sufficed. I would have been okay with that. But
his feet were stuck together. They just needed a nail to keep them in place.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I didn't think of that. Well, okay, we're not. No, it's fine. It's fine. We can move on. If anyone knows, though, how to walk on water, I think we can all agree it was the J-Man himself. And I'm not talking about this J-Man right here. But Pontius, God, he's got some big shoes to fill here, eh, boys?
I fucking died when Pontius. Oh, big shoes to fill. Well done. At first, there was. They're huge. Big shoes.
It's like I wonder what size those shoes are. That's at least like a 32.
Oh, gotta be. Shaq would be impressed with those ones. I laughed out loud when I saw Pontius walking with those shoes on. Like, you know exactly where it's going to go, but the idea that someone built those shoes for
and took the time to make them look like old school, like Jesus slippers, like sandals, like almost like Samurai Jack sandals. Like, they just didn't put on some cubes. They took the time to really make them look authentic. Yeah, I appreciate that guy.
Really mobile too. Like, they moved really easily. I'm wondering what they must have been made out of, like cork or something.
It's a new Balenciaga shoes.
Yeah, honestly, if speaking of Kanye, if he wore those out, they would become popular. Like, that's how.
Well, maybe not now. He's kind of fucked himself. But.
Yeah, maybe not now. Well, there's a specific demographic who would think that.
Can you imagine just a bunch of fucking Nazis sitting on those types of shoes, heiling Hitler?
No, you know what? The Nazis, they did a lot of bad shit, but the one thing that they knew was fashion, and you cannot take that away from them. They would know that those shoes were bullshit.
Yeah. With those haircuts, though, really?
Yeah, those haircuts are back in style now. I think Chris had one of those haircuts.
Yeah, I did. Someone's like, how come you have the Nazi hipster haircut? And I was like, fuck, I'm Jewish, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah, that's why you went full Eminem on us shortly after.
Yes. Yeah.
You're like, whoops. Pontius tries to walk across the water. Definitely doesn't work, but he was so convincing before he walked in the water. I almost would have placed a bet that he was going to make it. He's got something,
It kind of means that they didn't test these at all, which I would have assumed that they would have. So I thought he was going to walk on. I thought this was going to work for sure. I was a little disappointed that it didn't, and that they didn't keep trying, like a la the belt sander from Jackass season 3. Like, just keep trying until it works a little bit.
God, I love that belt sander for a sketch
One of the best.
that gets
One of the
no
best.
recognition. I think we all agree that was pretty sweet. Maybe Chris, you didn't think that was the greatest thing, but I'm fond of that fucking thing. I don't know why.
I liked it.
Yeah, boys, we got to keep moving on. It's time to meet the cultural leader of the Moleku tribe. I believe I got that right. His name's Tafa. Let's learn about some fucking plants in the forest, boys. This looks like a great botanic adventure, and I'm excited to go on it. Now,
this would be my biggest fear ever. Some guy you can't understand in the middle of like the jungle being like, eat this, rub this. Fuck is that shit? I would rather swim with fucking a pack of sharks, honestly.
Oh, for 100%.
Next thing you know, you're fucking tripping out in fucking the 15th dimension for like 4 days, and then you like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no,
I
the
agree.
Willingness of these two to just go along with everything, like they don't care. They're like,
well,
fuck
Steve-O's
it.
probably hoping.
Do it.
Steve-O's probably hoping to get a little high off of it. But this is, and this goes back to, I think I've said this a couple times this season already. With the bullet ant glove, with the Samburu tribe from Kenya in last week's episode, and now this one. I like when the WildBoyz visit with these tribes and these more remote pockets of civilization in these episodes, but I want to know more about them. I want to see them do the things that they're making the WildBoyz do to compare how easy or hard it is or how good they are at it or what, and also to just give a little bit more information. I want it to be a bit more informative. And in this case, like when they're chewing on that leaf that just makes them start salivating.
Blowjob. I like want to order some of that every time I'm about to get a blowjob. Just fucking give it to the girl. Let her fucking build that saliva up. Give me that Glock 2000.
Glock 2000.
Whatever the hell it is, you know?
That's a good way to put it. Wow, that's vile and vulgar. You and Jay with the crazy sex comments these days.
Hey, what? Don't loop me in on this.
Well, you had the wizard sleeve, the laundered wizard sleeve comment from earlier on.
Look at the verbiage I used, though. I was very respectful.
That is the respectful way to talk about a gaping fat pussy. You're right. But like, I want to know what the leaf is, and you know, Pontius says he's like, oh, people say they've done this once and they'll never do it again. Like, why? Is it the taste? Is it your mouth is numb? Is it just the saliva? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what was this thing? And you don't end up finding out.
Yeah, they could have described it a little better for sure. I agree. I was excited to see if this was going to lead into something, you know, like
they used to do drugs on air, Mikey,
to do a sketch.
Yeah, I did. I did.
You just pop a Molly.
I popped while we've been recording. I just popped 4 giant pills. Here, I'll show you how big they are on camera if you want to see.
Ooh. Is that for your herpes?
I think those are suppositories.
I put them down this way and I poop them out and it's the same effect. No, it's I have to take tryptophan for sleep, but I have to do it an hour before I go to bed. What? So I time it like when there's half an hour left in this episode, so that hopefully...
Oh my God, Jay, let's drag this episode out for so long and watch Mikey just fucking bass playing into his keyboard.
What is this, Mikey? Is this the Jetsons? You just can't eat a fucking turkey like the rest of us? What's wrong with you? You got to take a pill for tryptophan now?
I actually, this is not a lie.
Referencing the Jetsons.
Had turkey dinner tonight. I had turkey dinner tonight.
Now you're going to overdose on tryptophan. What are you doing, man? You can't be taking those.
It's going to be the greatest death of all time. Are you kidding me? You just get tired and lazy and then you just fall asleep and dream of flightless birds. Although I think turkeys can fly. I don't know.
I'm with Chris though. Let's really drag this one out.
So I really thought. Imagine Mikey starts like talking like in old school, where it's just like, "You're crazy, man.
I love you, man, but you're crazy.
You took a dart to the jugular." He just knocks all the presents into the pool. Oh,
I forgot that was from old school. That was a good movie.
All right. Well, Mikey, maybe tryptophan is or is not your kryptonite, but we found out what Pontius's kryptonite is, and it's this plant. You guys noticed that once he ate the plant, he was drooling so much he could no longer speak. And if we know anything about Pontius, his superpower is getting these clever one-liners out, but he couldn't do it. He was paralyzed. It frightened me for a little bit, frankly.
Yeah, and again, that's when I would love the narrator to come in and give a little bit of information on what it is, or even SteveO, or so, like that. I was hoping for it, and maybe it was an issue of like, only 600 people, they said, understand the molecular language, and maybe they just legitimately had no idea what it was, and they had no way to explain it. That's definitely possible. You'll notice they didn't give Taffa any subtitles. He just kind of talked, and I don't know how they then knew. Like, they could have been getting themselves into trouble. It's a good question as well.
They emailed him. He's just like, is this some weird ass keyboard?
On his BlackBerry.
Yeah. Taffa
Google Translate.
Moleca.gov. Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you think this Taffa guy's using these two as like lab rats? Like they haven't nobody in the tribe has tested any of these plants before. These two dumb white guys will do it.
He's like, now what if I smack you with this leaf and they get welts? He's like, well, I'm not going to do that to my friends. Good shit. Thanks for, yeah.
He definitely did pocket some of the other leaf to bring back to his wife in the hut later on.
For that glog glog.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the spanking with the plant, though, yeah, they get all itchy. They get these immediate like raised rashes on their arms and backs. It looks itchy as hell. I love that Pontius takes one of the leaves to wipe SteveO's nose, and then for some reason he starts wiping himself, and he goes, "Why am I doing this to myself?"
Yeah.
Like he's just so in the moment, Oh man, it's so
great.
Good seeing them interact with this shit and get into it and like take it another step further.
I
Chris,
actually
you had
think,
mentioned.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, if you got a point on the leaves, please jump in.
Just between the leaves, eating the leaves, and then we're going to talk about the poison frogs and all this. This was by far my favorite segment in this episode, and I wanted more of it, honestly. And it got me thinking, like, I would almost like them to do fewer segments, but have each segment have more substance, Like this episode was great because the highs were very high, but then there were some sketches where I almost, like, I'm reading through my notes, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that even happened. And it's like, make them more dense and then remove a little bit of the flack, I think.
Yeah, I agree. SteveO should have gave Pontius a blowjob.
Well, hey, why not? What an episode that would be. They would truly be WildBoyz if he did that.
Didn't he actually kiss Pontius's dick once?
Did he?
Yeah, there was a thing. He does like a joke. I'm pretty sure he.
I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
A little peck on the cheek. Well,
pretty cool.
Peck on the shaft. Good thing, though, boys, that this next one was explained beforehand because they've got one of the most poisonous frogs. The poison, they call it an arrow frog, a poison arrow frog, because they literally will wipe these fucking things on arrows and use them to, kill their enemies. So this thing's so poisonous that when Pontius picks up the poisoned arrow and bow and starts waving it around and saying it's kind of like pointing a gun at somebody, you can actually see legitimate fear and panic in SteveO as he gets up and runs away. He's like, dude, do not fuck around with this thing. Pontius isn't gonna do anything, but it's just that whole, it's like you found your dad's gun cabinet and your friends are,
I feel like I've seen commercials about that. Yeah,
it's funny because I just like a known thing, like in a lot of like the jungles and Amazons and all these different things. Like you stay away from any animal that has like bright, like flagrant colors, like neon colors, things like that. It's usually a warning sign to like their prey.
Did you just swallow one of those toads?
Apparently, it's usually just like a warning sign for their prey that they've like become like poisonous and toxic and all that stuff. And I just saw a meme today, actually, a few minutes ago, where it's just like it had that. It's like showed one of those animals, and it had one of those like pink-haired liberal idiots.
Yeah, and
it was funny.
It was funny. Okay. We've reached the point of the episode where Chris talks about his favorite scenes from movies and memes he saw on the internet. we're getting back to it. My favorite part of this one was when he picks up when Taffa picks up the poison toad and he's rubbing it on the he doesn't kill the toad and then like squeezes it on. He just gently like picks up a living thing and rubs it on the end of a stick that he's going to use as an arrow. And I pictured the toad or the poison toad just had like a Cockney accent. Like just like an angry British accent, like, "Oh, Gav, put me down. Oh, this again. Oh, why you getting all up in my business?" That. Yeah, it seemed like he just looked pissed off to be there. The toad did, and that just made me happy thinking about it.
Nice.
You think it's like maybe like a free massage, like a toad rub down? Maybe they kind of like.
It's got to feel pretty good because there's nothing in wilderness that's going to like scratch a toad's back. So that's the one chance it has. And that probably feels amazing to it.
You know what you wouldn't want scratching your back, though, boys? The bullet ant, which makes a second appearance in this season. And I got to say, these guys, they seem like they didn't know what was going to happen when they put their hand on the ant hill. So this must have been shot before they did the glove.
I
can
agree.
only imagine. Because the reactions we get, these are definitely first-time bullet ant bite reactions. The way they, they don't know that it's not only going to hurt when it stings, but it's going to continue to hurt well after they've been bitten.
Yeah, they look so taken aback, but like, here's the thing. If this was their first run-in with the bullet ant, imagine how scary the idea of the bullet ant glove would be. I'd almost rather do the bullet ant glove without knowing.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Now you've had one of them and you're just like, fuck, this is going to suck so bad.
Yeah, and if you like did it the first time you did the whole glove and you're like used to that, then like you could really like show off in front of like the tribesmen, like, whatever, it's just that. And you'd be like,
yeah. Like he's been there before, and you've been there with a glove full of them. But yeah, the bullet ants. I honestly very badly want to feel what a bullet ant bite feels like.
So, okay, we got these bullet ant stings. We're hurting like hell. We're walking down the path, following our guide through the forest. And this next part is almost like a callback to, you guys remember CKY, punch me in the back of the head before I hit the curb so it hurts less?
Yes, yeah.
So you're in a lot of pain already, and then what happens next? You step foot right into a pit trap, and both Pontius and Steve-O fall into this giant hole, like a man-sized hole. They're gone, and all of the tribe comes out and just starts laughing at them, which I thought was great.
They look pissed. They did not look happy. Mad. They're like, it was clear this wasn't planned. In my mind, I'm like, a fucking hole in the ground in the thing, that's where snakes. Every time there's a hole, snakes just fucking always end up there. Like, fuck that shit. I could have got bit by a Fer-De-Lance.
I thought the exact same thing when they fell in there. We just watched them, the WildBoyz in the Amazon, and all they had to do was dig a hole randomly in the jungle, and there were a bunch of fucking snakes in there. Why weren't there snakes in this one?
Dude, I think Scottie Pippen, I don't know what just made me think of this. You know how like he kind of got dissed by like Michael Jordan a lot in The Last Dance? He should do a revenge one called Fer-De-Lance Dance. Fer-De-Lance Dance. Because he's being snaky by Jordan was being snaky.
Okay. I think we can punch it up.
Cool.
No, I think we can punch it up, but there's something there. There's something there.
Yep. Anyway, sorry.
Right, Jay?
I kind of like the title Scottie Pippen, the Devil's Spaghetti a little bit better, but that's just me.
Spaghetti.
It was Pippen you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Think it over. We don't have to go with that. We're workshopping here.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Speaking of a place where there's no time for workshopping, it's the bull ring in Costa Rica. Yeah, you better think fast. Snaky Pittin, yeah. Man, this bull ring, though, I was immediately thinking, like, is this going to be, like, Knoxville levels of, bull injuries coming up here? Because I get skittish now after Jackass Forever whenever there's a bull thing, because I just think back to that, and I think of how badly that fucked him up. I think of Tremaine flipping the cell phone. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want to see more of that. I don't know. There's just something about it. But we're here. We know that these things fucking hate red, so you got to bust out the ceremonial red undies, both guys dressed up, looking good, and we're ready to go out there and ride some bulls and taunt them a little bit, have some fun.
Yeah, these bulls don't have horns, which is, I think, a big difference maker in whether or not I would be willing to get in the ring with one of them. In either case, probably not. But Pontius makes a joke at this, because Cesar, the rodeo clown, kind of shows them how to stay on the bull, and he's kind of rocking back and forth and holding. And Pontius basically says, "Oh, so we basically have to be strippers." I know a lot about that. There was a rumor when I was younger that Pontius was a stripper.
I remember hearing that.
Did that end up being true, or was
I'm pretty sure he wasn't like fully. I think he did some time stripping. Like I remember like trying to think about that, but yeah. I mean, he's got the moves, he's got the undies.
Yeah, he's got the moves and the undies. That's all you need. I could see it. If he hasn't before, he easily could, even at this age.
I think so. I would still pay to see it, I think. Yeah. I'm actually like looking up online whether or not I can find anything about that. But
while you're doing that,
I can't see it.
I got to pose a question to Chris anyway, because I know your favorite fucking line is, nobody's wilder than the WildBoyz. Anytime they use that phrase in its different iterations, I think this one here in this episode is my favorite, because there's this moment where Pontius is sitting on the bull, he's in the pen and they're just about to open the door. He looks at the camera He goes, "This is why they call us the WildBoyz." That door fucking bursts open. The bull goes full speed, and you get like this punk rock music cue in. It was just such a good moment. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I see. It's like I'm kind of like definitely over bulls. I remember you guys made fun of me for that before, but it's like to me, it's just like either someone's going to get hurt really bad, or it's going to be uneventful. At least they jazzed this one up by using the red underwear and the chaps. Like they made it more comical, which was a nice little touch on this, but. I think I've seen enough bulls. Like how can you top some of the things we've already seen? The bull seesaw or whatever it is, teeter-totter, the Johnny Knoxville flips, like the running of the bulls for the opening scene or the closing scene, whichever one that was. So it's kind of like, and it's like Costa Rica. I'm not thinking about bulls. I want some more exotic type situations.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when they ended up at a bull ring. I just didn't. I mean, I'm sure I know nothing about the culture, not nearly enough, but I didn't associate bullfighting or bull riding with the culture. It was cool though to see them ride the bull. You don't see that as often. Usually you just see them get hit by a bull or playing around them, and they actually give it a college try. And surprisingly, SteveO outlasts Pontius in this, which I don't know about you guys, but I definitely didn't expect. SteveO stays on there a little bit longer. But Jay, you're from Calgary in Canada. That Calgary is host of the Calgary Stampede. For some reason, Calgary loves cowboy hats and cowboy culture, even though it's very cold there for a big chunk of the year. I don't know where that culture comes from for you guys, but have you ever ridden a bull, or are you interested in that at all?
Have I ever ridden a bull?
Have you ever ridden a bull?
There are some bars in the city you can go to that have mechanical bulls if you want to try that out. I grew up in a small town where they had a rodeo, like right outside town every year, but I never went. I was... you knew me. I was like a punk rock kid, so I thought that
cowboy. Yeah,
I fucking hated cowboys, dude. If we're talking real, I know you make the jokes, but I hated all those guys because they were like the jocks in your school, and I was not. I didn't really get along with those guys. So there was just this thing of like there was animosity there. So I never really had that opportunity. Now I'm old. I don't give a shit about that anymore. If you want to be a cowboy, that's fine. But yeah, I've actually never done it. But I've been to the Stampede and stuff, and I've seen it before. Yeah. It's just I don't know. I don't see the appeal, but I guess agree. I could get it if you're into it. It's like fuck. It's like anything, man. Like if there's people who get like their rocks off watching people play poker. So I mean, like you could be into just about anything.
I masturbate watching poker all the time.
Yeah. Playing under the table. I know that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time that Queen of Hearts comes out.
Oh baby,
she's hot.
Oh baby, she is. Yeah, especially because they hold her right up to that preview camera, and they like peek the card up, and you just kind of like see her like, hi, like she just kind of like looks up to her, and like hold her on the glass and peek it up. It's really cute. Mark Rackley makes another appearance. I don't know. I was in poker, they take the cards and they like peel it up towards the camera.
I was right on board.
You guys ever see that movie? I think it was called I think it was called 40 Days and 40 Nights. That came out in the 2000s about a guy who couldn't fuck for 40 days.
Josh Hartnett. Yeah.
Josh Hartnett.
Mikey, you just gave me flashbacks to a moment in that movie where he's looking at the bottle of syrup. It's shaped like an old chick, an old lady, Aunt Jemima or whatever. And he's thinking about fucking her. That was you right there with the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, why not?
I lost you.
We all get lonely sometimes.
Yeah, he wakes up in the middle of a dream and it's just he's flying over a sea of boobs.
I loved that scene so much as a kid. That was awesome.
That's why I don't know. I thought it was too many boobs, It was kind of like,
Jay, you can never have too many.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
But they were like, there was no symmetry. There was like a brown nipple right next to a large, pink guy.
We know
Jay,
you
the
don't
knuckle
like
nipples
brown
are
nipples.
called areolas, all right?
Sorry.
Fuck, stop womanizing women.
Fucking science guy over here. Womenizing women.
Womenizing women. Mark Rackley, by the way, speaking of holding things up close to the camera, loses one and makes another appearance on the show. I don't remember much of Mark Rackley when I was watching this show as a kid. Do you guys but he's all over. His fingerprints are all over, at least this season. Are we just noticing him now, or was he always?
Well, because we're trying to take fine details. We're not just watching the WildBoyz. We're looking for little nuances and little things to comment about. That's the only reason. I bet you if you weren't watching notes, you probably wouldn't notice it either.
Yeah,
definitely wouldn't know his name.
Hey,
yeah,
guys.
that's fair.
So up next, we've got SteveO playing Michael Keaton, playing the Birdman. And those wings, looks like they put a lot of effort into those wings. I think those are real feathers on those wings. But today, we're at a large bridge, a 300-foot bridge here. And SteveO is going to fly off right down into the Costa Rican jungle. And SteveO does not want to do this. He takes off the goggles. He takes off the Brommer cap. Forget about it. I ain't doing this.
Is that what they're called? Groggles and Brommer caps? You could have said anything there and I would have believed you.
To some of us, they are.
You would have said, like, if you said Chuck Cups and didgeridoos, I'd be like, yeah, he took those. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
My man John C. Reilly knows what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying.
Another Adam McKay reference, I guess. His movies are being referenced all over the place this episode. This is one of the most iconic stunts for me in WildBoyz. One of the ones I remember the best because it's SteveO just flat out saying no, he's not going to do it to the camera. And I remember watching this one as a kid, being like, "Are you allowed to do that on Jackass and WildBoyz? Like, is
apparently
that even
not?
An option?" Yeah.
He's like, "There's no fucking chance I'm doing this. I do not care. Stop talking to me. You guys are pissing me off."
Yeah.
Next cutscene. Well, you know what I mean?
That was such a perfect cut. It was great. But you're right. He gets pissed off and he's like, "I don't care. I'm not doing this. You guys are pissing me off." And he kind of walks away from the camera and he's still in like hiked up thong. And it's like, it's so hard to take him seriously. Like, I get that he's pissed off and he's scared for his life, but he looks so fucking silly the whole time. It was such a treat.
I love his rationalization because it's like, if he just said no, you could look at this if he didn't handle it the way he did and be like, "Oh, he's just being a tough sport," or this or that. He's like, "Guys, I swim with fucking sharks. Every single day I do something that kill me. I know this isn't going to, but I'm not fucking doing it." Mm-hmm. You know, it's just like, it's funny because it just goes to show it's like fears are different with everybody, right? Yep. So in my mind, I'm like, if he was this much against it, why didn't they just suit Pontius?
Pontius, yeah. I wondered the same thing. Because like Pontius is he's got to be there. You would assume at least. The other part of this is I think he's also said that he got obliterated before doing this because he knew he was going to have to do it and he was going to be scared. And when I watched it, you know, as a kid, I didn't pick up on it, but you can really see that he's like very drunk or high or both at this point. Did you guys notice that in this segment? I
noticed it a little bit for sure. Mm-hmm. He definitely seemed off. He didn't seem his normal.
Yeah, he was slurring significantly and it's a great kind of like compromise to this one, doing the mafia toss where he just gets thrown off by the entire cast and crew of WildBoyz.
To me, I think I would actually prefer that happening. Just like take it out of your control. I don't need to make that step. Because I know SteveO has this thing where he's always like, he says it's like before any stunt, he might work himself out, but he does this one thing where he goes 1, 2, 3 and goes on 3 no matter what.
Oh.
That's how he's done all his things. The amount of times he was scared. The second he does that countdown, he said he's never backed down from the number 3 when it's happened. But this time he wouldn't even stand near the edge. So just getting tossed off. You just close your eyes and you're like, whatever, it is what it is. I think that's actually easier. As much as it almost seems scarier, I think it's easier.
No, I agree because you're taking the agency out of it. It's just like whatever happens is going to happen and you don't have the buildup. I totally get that. But this, like for, again, we talk about the safety supervisor on set. It's wild to me that they let it happen the way that it happened with that bungee cord just there and lingering as they have to walk up to the edge and there's 6 people that have to throw them off. I was like,
it could have clipped somene's foot and dragged them over.
It's amazing to me that they let this happen. But, I guess the Wild West of WildBoyz didn't.
The producers and the safety crew are just as wild as the WildBoyz. Maybe they got a WildBoyz on their own.
Yeah, who's wilder than the WildBoyz? The suits on the cast of WildBoyz.
Yeah, Mikey's right though too. There was a bungee cord. We didn't mention this. They weren't just throwing a dude off a bridge. There was a bungee cord involved. I don't think they trusted in the wingsuit that much.
No.
He got a good couple flaps in there. You guys notice that when he spread the wings and, showed off a little bit?
It gave like a really good visual. This looked really funny. Some of the feathers were falling off as he was flapping. It looked like a bird in trouble. Like it was really good. But he kept saying, he's like, like you said, Chris, I've swam with sharks. I've done this, I've done that, and I've done it. This is the one thing I'm not going to do. And even after he comes back up, he's like, I'd never do that again in my life. And it got me thinking like, this is something that I would almost want to do for fun. You know, bungee jumping, I'm like, yeah, I'd rather skydive, to be honest. There's something about the cord that creeps me out. But I was thinking, what are the things that I would rather not do as opposed to bungee jumping? And then I wanted to ask you, would you guys rather swim with sharks or bungee jump? Or, Chris, eat leaves in rank these in order. Swim with sharks, bungee jump, eat leaves in the jungle with Tafa.
I think for me, the one from things I would most rather do, swim with sharks. I'd actually, that excites me. That seems fun to me. I honestly think the bungee jumping would be my last one. I'm fucking terrified of heights.
Really?
Like, I don't think I can handle it. I really don't.
Jay, what about you?
I think I'm actually... I think I'm going with the exact same order as Chris on this one, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. You would think the bungee jump would be like a fun, you know, risk-free. You're not going to get some sickness or get your fucking arm chopped off. But I think there's something about staring off the edge of that bridge I can relate to SteveO, where it's like, yeah, I don't want to jump off this 300 fucking foot tall thing. I just don't want to do that, you know. So.
I hear you on that, but I think that I've never had an issue with heights. And I think I would actually end up enjoying it once I did it. You know, I've got pretty bad scoliosis, and I've always pictured that if I went bungee jumping, it would just straighten my spine right out. It's been like a fantasy of mine. But I think the number one thing I wouldn't want to do, believe it or not, is eat leaves in the jungle.
Even more than swimming with sharks, Mike.
Even more than swimming with sharks. Because I know that there's an element of safety when you're swimming with the sharks. Like, I'm assuming you're doing it in like a controlled way. It would creep the hell out of me. But the idea of who the fuck knows what's going to happen for the next 8 hours of my life, unless you guaranteed me that there were no hallucinogenics in the leaves, then that would be number 2, and swimming with sharks would be number 1. But that's
there's no guarantee with that guy.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I was thinking. That guy seems like he's got a trick up his sleeve.
Yeah, and at the end, you're going to end up in a pit somewhere in the jungle. You know it's coming. So
yes, yeah. Imagine being high and ending up in a pit, and you lose time a little bit. You forget that you fell in a hole, and you're just in a hole, and you're like, "Oh, I'm dead. This is what dead is." Yeah,
where time slows down, and it just feels like you're falling for like 3 hours.
Oh, true.
Where's the bottom of this endless pit? A white-faced Capuchin monkey is up next.
Jay, your favorite kind of monkey?
It's here. It's here.
Only monkey you can recognize.
You know, it is my favorite kind of monkey, and I'll tell you why. Because this monkey is here to jerk off Pontius, and I'm on board with that. But instead, Pontius lets the monkey crawl on his neck. He gets peed on a bunch. The cameraman gets peed on a bunch. End of segment. That's it. That's all you're getting. But
there's a weird. This is the definition of what I would remove from the episode in order to spend more time focusing on other things.
I didn't even have a note on it. I forgot this even happened. I thought we were moving on to the next one. You said that. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But hey, this next one, we're gonna go hit up an active volcano. Now this sounds like holy shit. You know, they just did this 300-foot bungee jump. This volcano thing's got to be something crazy they're saving for the end. Last time this thing, you know, erupted, it killed 87 people. It's still active. I'm thinking, like, what are they going to do? Is this like another bungee jump thing? Or are they like, what the fuck's happening here? But all it is SteveO's flying over the volcano in a plane, but it's his first time flying a plane, according to them. Who knows if that's actually true? They're just
he's not actually flying. He's just in the he's in the co-pilot seat, and the controls have been disengaged. Yeah.
So I'm an idiot. So really, what I was hoping for, though, was this was going to be SteveO back in the wingsuit. It's Mafia Toss Part 2, but no. They fly over, they land near the base of the volcano, and then we're going to go down, and something good here. It's got to come here, right, boys? We're at the base of the volcano. We're at an active volcano vent. There's like poisonous mud and fumes. This is going to be fucking great.
Here we are with
what's that?
Vent, which if I fall into,
we're just cooking a steak here.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this bit.
Did you really?
Dead serious.
Wow, because I literally hadn't.
But
yeah, the idea was funny, but don't end the episode with this one.
Yeah. No.
True, I could see that, and it does seem like WildBoyz. They don't really end with like a crescendo type situation a lot of the time. It's like the orders of their things seem a little like I don't know. Maybe they're doing that for a reason, but the reason why I like this is because I like just a stupid idea. Think about all the effort they did to make this idea. Like, we had to rent a plane. We had to fly to this area. We had to go to this thing. We had to build this weird pan thing. Right away, the fucking goop gets right into the steak. The whole bit should be done there. You know, like, they fucked up. They clearly only brought one steak because they kept going. They did not think this one through at all. And then Steve-O's ability to keep it going, make a joke, keep it going. He's like, oh, and then he changes his whole tone. Well, now it's seasoned really nice. He's like, now I think I'm going to give it a dunk. And he just keeps on going, and he turns it all around. And even at the end, he finally does eat this steak that's just covered in sulfuric volcanic mud. And you could tell he's like trying to do it. He eats it, and instead of just being like, that's disgusting, he looks and he's like, it tastes so damn good. It almost feels like a shame to eat it. Everything from how that happened, it could have been a ruined bit. And I love that when they're able to improvise and show their character, that's what makes us like these guys. So that's what I liked about the bit quite a bit.
That's a good point. SteveO, his star power was on display here for sure. His line, I'll give it a little rinse, but this steak is getting chomped, was just, it tickled me for some reason. What a weird way to phrase it, but like that was very funny. I get what you're saying, and I come around on it. And if this were midway through the episode, I'd be much happier with it. But it is amazing that you're right. They fly to this volcano, and you have to assume they filmed a bunch of things here. And if this was the best they got, though, what a waste of a trip, right? I mean, except for the experience for them of actually going, but yeah. Also, I when I see these like sulfur pits, all I can think of is the movie Dante's Peak, when the couple's swimming in the lake and they're like, ooh, it's like a hot spring. And then they get boiled alive.
That happened to some chick in Yellowstone. They went swimming and then they were walking back and they tried to jump over this thing and she fell backwards into it. It was nighttime. They just thought it was a little creek thing. And it was like, it melted her completely. She came out and fucking died. Yeah. Like 2 people fell in getting her out. A couple people. Yeah. There's a whole story. I'll send you the link on YouTube. This guy,
I thought you were Chris. I thought you were talking about the show Yellowstone, and I was going to try to play it up as though this were a crazy story. But you're saying like actually
a real life thing, yeah, in Yellowstone, like the national park. They were like campers there, and they all went for a day at the hot springs. They just went into one that was like boiling hot by accident. She tried to jump over and fucking died. Yeah,
yikes, that's rough. That's rough. Yeah. More like old Flayful. Am I right?
Hey, where do I get
Bobby Flay?
Yeah.
Either you boys know where I can get a long stick like that one that Steve-O's got connected to the frying pan. I want to try that in my kitchen in the morning. Yeah, well, that was too easy. I basically threw you like a 60-mile-per-hour fastball. Right.
I'm the only guy that will make a small dick joke and a big dick joke regarding myself in the same fucking episode. Just gotta keep people guessing. You never know what you're gonna get.
Chris is just completely average sized dick, so he has to take all the jokes he can get.
Kind of probably true.
Kind of probably true.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Only one way to find out.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I am a man of the people.
Just don't eat sulfur, guys. That's what I learned from this, and I'm glad that we flew all the way out to a volcano, parked a plane, hiked for who knows how many miles to learn that today. I mean, I feel like it was worth it. Let's.
By the way, that volcano, Arenal volcano, stopped erupting in 2010. Okay. So it's no longer erupting.
Fuck that volcano. Yeah, it needs to fucking calm down anyway, I think. Guys.
It's got one look at the WildBoyz. It's like, I'm not that wild. I need to cool my jets.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
I cooked my steak. That's why I erupted, is I wanted to cook a steak, and it got its wish.
So maybe I was a little underwhelmed, as you can tell by this one. But I will say the payoff at the very end, there's a nice little treat, a nice little cherry on top of the shit sundae here. Steve-O, he goes for like a first time hearing this for me too, by the way. He goes from eating the steak and doing like a straight into a and it's like so seamless that I don't know, there's something there.
It was a good visual. No, I like he salvaged it, like Chris said. Yeah. It wasn't worth ending the episode on. In fact, I was surprised when they cut to the "No One's Wilder Than the WildBoyz" bit, because I was like, "Oh, that was it." There was so much more they could have done, but that's just like if you have a really good song on an album and you don't place it in the proper order or something like that. Like the song is still there, the segment was still decent, so I don't want to fault it too much just based on its positioning.
Speaking of positioning, where are we going to rank our MVPs and LVPs?
Ooh.
Ooh, good question. Jay, do you want to start since you weren't here last week, or do you want me to start?
Sure, I can jump in if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
So MVP this time, boys. It's my main man, JC. Come on. Jesus Christ, Super Lizard. I'm just saying.
I like that.
He ran the fuck out of that pond, and he made me laugh. He made me smile. He made me tear up. I felt all those emotions watching that lizard run. Like, he ran across that thing like that was his only mission in life. He knows he sucks at a lot of things, and he fucks up a lot in his life. But when he's on that pond, he's fucking on. And ain't nobody going to run across a pond like my man, Jesus Christ, the lizard.
I like it.
I like it too. I think we should all like it. And I'm just saying, if listeners, if you're keen, Chris alluded to earlier that, maybe this whole Jesus Christ lizard, two birds and one stone here. I don't know. Is there a conspiracy? I don't know. Is Chris wearing an NWO hoodie right now? I'm just saying, do the lizard people want to,
he is
take over the world? And, I don't know. What do the lizard people want to do? I don't even know. I don't know enough about the lore. Maybe someone can fill me in what they're here to do. But
I feel like we don't want
do we accept them?
Who I don't. If people actually know the lore, I don't know that we want them as listeners. You know what I mean? Like, if they know,
those are my people.
Those are Chris's people. Those are when Chris says he's a man of the people. We now know who the people are.
Yeah, the lizard people.
Open-minded individuals that challenge the matrix that the government has set up against us. Free Top G. Give him back his Bugatti.
Top G.
You don't know who Top G is?
No, who's
Fuck,
Top
man.
G?
No wonder you're such a liberal cuck.
Who's
Get yourself
Top
out of the
G?
matrix. Fucking, what's his face? He now had my terrible time for me to... Yo, what the fuck? I just had the biggest brain fart of my life. Andrew Tate.
Oh. Really? You're playing into that?
I'm not playing into that. He's the Top G.
Oh,
Give him back his Bugatti. Drink some bubble water.
You just like saying Bugatti.
And free the man.
Bugatti.
That's what this is. Hey, you think they could have killed them, though, to put a little beard and a robe on the lizard? Even if it had to be CG, I would have been fine with that.
That would have been sick.
That would have been sick. I would have liked that. My MVP of this episode, I'm not going to overthink this one. It's Chris Pontius. I think Chris was so good in this episode. From the very beginning, he's amazing doing the Fer-De-Lance dance with the snakes. He's kind of keeping his cool with the snakes. Talking about Costa Rica, saying it's practically lawless, like just playing the heel card immediately. Him with the sloths. He's the only reason that segment had any bit of comedy. Hanging with the sloths. He has a bunch of really good lines in the bull episode. And I think that he just kind of was on full force. He was happy. He was the best part of all the eating the leaves and rubbing the leaves on SteveO's nose and then himself and questioning why I was just along for the ride. He was just on display. It was like pure Pontius being Pontius, and sometimes I don't want to overthink it.
Yeah.
You know what? Because I've been trying to find funnier, more creative ones, and I was going to do a complete opposite of Jay and go with the sloth because he went from a super fast animal, and I was going to go with the super slow animal.
Yeah, I like that. Do that one.
You know what? Pontius deserves it fully on this one. He fucking carries this episode. I got to give credit where credit's due every once in a while.
Okay. Sexy.
Yeah, I like it. Pontius 2-1. So Chris and I win on votes to Jay.
I went directly against Jesus Christ.
Nobody beats Jesus Christ. Come on.
Well,
He'll
I don't
teach
know.
you to fish and wash
the
the
Romans. The Romans beat him pretty hard, actually. I think I've seen.
No, second thought. Yeah.
I've seen like a 5-hour movie on it by.
Actually, I think in that movie it was the Jews, wasn't it? According to Mel Gibson.
Who the fuck knows?
Is Mel Gibson one of the lizard people?
He probably is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of looks like one. Hey, I don't know if you guys noticed too, but if you roll it back at the start of the MVP segment, I did totally. What?
Look at the dog. He's snoring and his tongue's out.
He's
twitching his face.
Chris is showing, for the listeners, he's showing the dog he's looking after. You can hear it a little bit on the camera, actually.
That's great. Everybody listen.
What are you doing, bro? Sorry. That just caught me off guard. I never seen him do that.
No,
before.
that was a worthwhile detour. I'm glad we
up. Yeah, just made fun of you, buddy.
It's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yeah.
I was just saying, though, if you roll it back at the start of the MVP segment, I totally pulled a Chris there, and I used a metaphor that didn't make any sense or was in no way relevant to what I was saying, and I got away with it. I think I said something about two birds with one stone, and you guys just kind of nodded along like, yeah, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
I mean, Jay, there's a lot you say that doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah.
If we stopped you every time,
that.
this podcast wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and I would have said two birds, one cup, if anything, because I would have butchered it.
You would have butchered it. Actually, that's better. I remember the first time I saw that video at a party, and I didn't know what it was, and God, it was hard to find. That's where it all started. It was that, it was that time period where like enough people had seen it that they were starting to like pull it off the internet everywhere, and you had to go to some deep, dark places to find that. Some guy came over, probably gave me like 100 viruses. God. Anyway, I LVPs. For me on this one, it's got to be white nationalist jerk off monkey. He was not as advertised.
No, he was a little dickhead, to be honest, pissing and coming on everyone. It was, I mean, what a life those monkeys live. Are you like that? That would just be the way to go. My LVP, I don't want to look any further than the first segment. Alejandro Solorzano, quote a supposed snake handler and snake expert, showing up to work in fucking flip-flops, letting the snake out of the bag and nearly killing Mark Rackley. Like, get your shit together. You were brought here to do one thing. You let David Weathers do all the heavy lifting and then bail your ass out. Alejandro, you're not getting the call back next time the WildBoyz go to Costa Rica.
No way.
I'm not going with him. I'm just going with the fucking Fer-De-Lance in general. Those guys are assholes. I don't like them one bit. You could try and handle them, and they're still going to be addicted. No matter who you have on that thing, they still want to bite people and kill people. They fucking want to bite when their head's chopped off. Fuck those little fucking demons.
Devil spaghetti.
Devil spaghetti. Any other Scottie Pippen references we can? Did anyone workshop any of that?
No, can't do two.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we're sticking with, I guess, Snaky Pippen.
Yeah, but you got to have the tagline "Devil Spaghetti" on there.
Devil Spaghetti. Yeah.
I still like Fer-De-Lance dance, like the Last Dance.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
That's how it all started.
Yeah. No, you're right. That is how it all started.
It's the only reason it has to do with snakes in the first place.
Yeah.
It's like Last Dance. We just went off. Why does Scottie Pippen have to have a snake analogy now?
Well,
why not?
Well, because he's a Fer-De-Lance, and we were talking about it during the snake pit.
But then we have the Last Dance and the Fer-De-Lance. Whatever. You guys are wrong. I'm right.
Okay.
As per usual.
All right.
Get the people to vote. You know what they're going to vote for.
You know where you can vote. At Jackass Pod on Instagram, Twitter, where everyone's
TikTok.
eating ass. Yeah, that one. Go check it out and let us know. Give us your best titles for a Scottie Pippen redemption story. It has to involve snakes, or else we're just throwing it out. Has to be snake related.
Scottie Pippen's going to get hashtagged and all these fucking snakes. He's like, the hell's going on here?
I love that Chris asks, he's like, why does it have to have anything to do with snakes? It's like, Chris, you're the one who started this game. Because you're like, well, it should be Fer-De-Lance dance. But like, that doesn't have anything to do with Scottie Pippen.
He was in the Last Dance movie.
Right.
He
so
was
what
in
does
the movie,
Fer-De-Lance have to do with the Last Dance or Scottie Pippen?
Number one, has a good ring. And number two, he could get the revenge story because Jordan was being a snake to him.
Well, listen, if Jordan was being a snake, then he can also be in a snake pit.
And then I guess it has to do with snakes. Fuck, you guys beat me at my own logic. He just fucking, he just inceptioned me.
Oh.
Did you go into my dreams there for a second into 3 levels? Like, what the fuck just happened? How did you just convince me? You just had that idea growing in me before I even knew I had it?
Masterfully done. Well, Mikey is not keeled over on the table, drooling on himself yet, so the tryptophan hasn't kicked in yet. So while we still have him, let's do our sign-off, shall we? Hey, next week we'll be back with another episode of The WildBoyz.
Oh, yeah, predictions. Where do we think they're going to be?
Ooh. Yeah, nobody's peaked at this, have they? We're all.
I did. I got Africa right. I got Kenya.
Yeah, I was pretty close. I said South America for this week, but then I switched it to Patagonia.
Shit.
But
this is technically Costa Rica is North America, though.
I'm just going to go out there and say Australia, even though that's probably not right.
Nice.
Have they done Belize yet?
I don't think so.
I'm going Belize.
Okay, I'm going to go with New Zealand.
Ooh. All right. Anything else? Are we done here? We're done.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I've said everything I need to say.
Yeah. Well, until next time, Thanks for joining us on the Jackass. The Jackass? Well, we've never called it that before. The fuck? I think Mikey might have slipped me one of those suppositories. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little woozy too, so I'm gonna head to bed.
That's why he was taking those pills to make us fall asleep so he could get in our dreams.
Yeah.
So sorry, I was taking pills to make you fall asleep?
I'm so happy
what are you
that
talking
Chris
about?
derailed it this time and I didn't have to. This is
shit. That makes no sense. Did you Inception me again?
Chris is just spinning a top the next episode.
Let's see if it's still spinning by the time we get here next week. Until then, bye. I'm Jason Wellwood.
Bye, I'm the Chris Aaronworth.
Bye, I'm Mikey Aaronworth, and this has been The Jackass.
Furnished by Sad Styles Productions.
Get into it.